Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Real Happy Ending. I'm your host, Chuck Henson, and you might remember my voice from a decade of traffic and news reports at Bay News 9 in Tampa, or perhaps from the stadium speakers at a Bands of America Regional or the Grand National Marching Band Championships. But today, I'm coming to you from my home studio here in beautiful, sunny Inverness, Florida, where I'm a massage therapist. Now, this podcast isn't about the fairy tales, even though it's called The Happy Ending, The Real Happy Ending. It's about the work. It's about wellness and the pivot that leads to a well-lived life. Now, today, we're going to talk about a phrase that resonates very deep in my soul. 5 words that define a brotherhood and a city, and they are, may you never walk alone. Those 5 words are the call of the Madison Scouts Drum and Bugle Corps of Madison, Wisconsin. As an alumnus from the 1981 to 1984 era, you'll never walk alone is a wellness philosophy. I think back to the massive DCI Midwest win we had in 1981 and the 1983 Best Guard title that Scouts took. We weren't just winning, we were building a support system that has lasted us more than 40 years. Those men are my best friends and the people I go to when I'm in trouble. You don't have to wear a green jacket to find that kind of brotherhood. I firmly believe the man I am today is a direct result of my involvement in music education. It taught me that community is the ultimate healer. You know, while the Madison Scouts forged my discipline, my years at the University of Kentucky forged my heart. When the world gets loud and the pivots of life feel like they're spinning out of control, I can turn to my UK friends. They're not just names in a contact list. They're my family, my anchors. Being part of the Big Blue Nation isn't just about what happens on the hardwood at Rupp Arena. It's about the shared pulse of a community that knows your history without you having to explain it. You know, when I'm with my Kentucky tribe, there's a total release of ego. There is a safety there that allows my nervous system to finally exhale. These friendships are quiet, steady beats that keep my mental health on track. They remind me that no matter how far I travel from Lexington, I'm always at home when I'm with them.
Oh, that morning rush, got that morning.
Who supports your support system? You carry the weight for your friends, your family, and your community. But who is looking after your alignment? At Chuck Henson Wellness in Inverness, we specialize in releasing the armor of a life well lived. Whether it is the tension in your shoulders or the stress in your spine, Chuck helps you find the balance that allows you to show up for the people you love. This April, experience our Spring Awakening session, a comprehensive 90-minute neurological reset. This signature treatment includes 75 minutes of targeted myofascial work, 15 minutes of immersive ocular goggle therapy, and a 512 Hz tuning fork treatment to ground your nervous system. Experience functional resilience today. Call Chuck at 727-537-6601. That is 727-537-6601. Chuck Henson Wellness. We do not just move muscles. We help you find your balance.
I'll see you soon on my table.
You know, earlier we were talking about that 1983 Best Color Guard win with the Madison Scouts, and that reminds me of the physical toll that takes on your body. We called it guard shoulder. It's what happens when you're constantly rotating through a joint under the weight of a rifle or a saber, but it could easily be something you do playing tennis or pickleball or any number of activities. Let me give you a little massage insight. In my studio, I see this armor in everyone, from athletes to office workers. You know, when I work on your upper traps or your rotator cuff, we're not just rubbing a muscle, we're unmaking internalized stress. If your shoulder blade isn't finding its tribe with the rest of your back muscles, well, then you're headed for injury. A real ending many times means talking about the hard pivots. You know, folks often ask me about the Scouts going co-ed. Many years ago, it was an all-male ensemble for many, many years. Now, for me, that discussion started years ago with a specific young transgendered man whose journey forced us, the board of directors for the Madison Scouts, to ask, who is this brotherhood for? It was a controversial foundational discussion, but it paved the way for the core that exists today. True wellness isn't about exclusion, It's about the safety of belonging. The Madison spirit is stronger than any gender. And that young man helped us to realize that may you never walk alone has to mean everyone. I want to leave you with 2 tools to help your body feel as supported as your spirit. First, we're going to do nerve gliding. Now, I want you to think of your nerves like silk-like threads. They run through your muscles. When you're stressed, those threads get stuck. While sitting on the edge of your bed, I want you to extend your right arm out, palm flat, as if you're pushing a wall away. Now, gently tilt your head to the left while pulling your fingers back toward your forearm. Then, tilt your head back to the right as you relax that hand. You're flossing the nerve, allowing it to slide freely without tension. All right, here's number 2. It's called 3-dimensional breathing. Now, most of us breathe shallow into our chests. What I want you to do is breathe into your entire rib cage. Place your hands on the sides of your waist. As you inhale through your nose, don't let your shoulders rise. Instead, feel your ribs expand outward into your hands like an accordion, and feel your back expand against the chair. This 360-degree expansion signals your vagus nerve to shut off that fight or flight response instantly. All right, here's your homework assignment for this week. I want you to reach out to one person from your tribe. Maybe that's a college friend, or in my case, a Scouts brother. Call them. Don't text. Call them. Tell them I am glad you're in my tribe. Emotional safety is the root of physical wellness. You know, the Madison Scouts and Bands of America didn't just teach me music and how to organize events and all the discipline associated with that. They taught me that you're only as strong as the person standing next to you. Take care of your tribe and take care of the equipment you were born with. This has been The Real Happy Ending. Remember, you'll never walk alone, but you don't have to walk in pain either. I'm Chuck Henson. I hope to see you soon on my table.